It is Thursday, September 11th, 2025. This is another edition of Baseball Today presented to you by Mountain Dew. Looking for a refreshing citrusy kick this summer? Go grab yourself a Mountain Dew. That is my man, Trevor Plouffe. I am Chris Rose, producer Nan, and intern Sawyer along for the ride as well, as I would like to offer you up congratulations on making it through another Twins season. You just finished your final broadcast yesterday.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I love doing it,
Yeah.
so it doesn't even feel like a job to me. But tough year for the Twins, no doubt about it. But I think there's some things that they could look forward to next year a little bit.
Yeah, but I'm talking about you. How much do you enjoy doing the games?
I love it. Seriously, like it's one of my favorite things to do. I would do all the games if it wasn't so much travel. Because
Yeah,
I'm never at home. That's the thing for me, man. I have to travel for every single game except for the Dodger games, basically.
right.
And it's just I need to be home, man.
Yeah,
Father first.
absolutely. That's the way it should be. I applaud you for that. I do like it that the way that more and more teams, and we talked about it a little bit yesterday, that they kind of break up the analysts. You know, some teams have a predominant analyst, which is fine, but there are other people that get in a booth. I think it's healthy for the analyst because you need to get away a little bit from the long drawn out season, but it's healthy for listeners to, get a different set of eyes and ears and a different mouth on a broadcast. I think it's really good.
I do too. I mean, we have a nice collection of like Glenn Perkins is on the pitching side, LaTroy Hawkins on the pitching side, the me and Morneau are more of the hitters. And honestly, you're right about there's only so many things that you can say and so many beliefs that you
Right.
have about the game. Like it can be repetitive if you're there all the time. So I think it is good to break it up.
Yeah. All right, let's get it going with a tip of the cap to one of the longest games we've had the entire season. They had to go 13 innings last night in Seattle, and here comes a new hero.
Swinging away! Leo Rivas! What have you done? Wow! Wow! He walks it off in the 13th inning!
Yeah, that's a sweep of the Cardinals. That's 5 in a row for the Mariners, who remain right behind the Houston Astros in the AL West and are still hanging on to that wild card spot as well. And this is what I love about September and then October. It's the guys at the back end of the roster. You have no idea when they're going to play such a critical role.
No, that was awesome. I guess they ditched the bunt because you and I were texting about that game. Nobody wanted to win it. Luke
Nobody.
Raley got a bunt down to load the bases with the meat of the order up, and they couldn't get the job done. So finally, they're like, you know what? Somebody just hit a homer.
Yeah, he had entered the game, I believe, in the 9th or 10th, whatever inning it was, as a pinch runner, and then he hits a walk-off homer. He was the first Mariner since, remember the name Ryan Langerhans? Do you remember that name?
I
No?
don't.
Okay. It happened in 18 years ago. So he was the last Mariner to do that, where he enters as a pinch runner and then hits a walk-off homer. So cool moment for him. Yeah, we watched Herrera butcher base running in the 10th inning. He was the runner at second. There was a ball ripped to right. Robles caught it like back near the track, and he had already gone halfway, so he couldn't tag up and get to third with only one out. And then the next play, ball was hit to center. Julio catches it, and he fires it to second. I was like, why is he firing the ball to second? Well, Herrera had taken off running. There were two of the worst back-to-back plays I had seen. Come on,
Yeah,
guys.
there was another. I was texting you. There was another base running player. I forget who was at second at that point. I believe it was in the 11th inning. A chopper like
Right.
to the second base side of second base, like clearly over the pitcher's head, and the Cardinals runner stayed at second base.
Come on,
Like, what
guys.
are we doing here?
We still got 2.5 weeks, and then you can go on vacation. Let's keep our brains in the game,
Jeez.
particularly when you could have playoff implications on the other side. Y'all's season might be done, but let's keep playing hard. Speaking of playing hard, Texas Rangers very, very much in this thing. They sweep the Brewers thanks to a double burger.
Seen a pretty good pitching matchup here. And Berger smashes another one deep out to center, and that one is gone.
Freeman actually came up to me and asked me what pitch it was, and I had no idea. And I think that befiddled him a little bit, but sometimes you just take a good swing and you're on time, and it works out. Yeah, that's a really good ball club, and they're going to be scary in the postseason. So being able to sweep them at home here was huge for us, and get that momentum going into a tough Mets series and then back to Houston.
All right, so they remain 2.5 back in the division, just 1.5 out in the wild card, and they still play, I believe, both teams, if I'm not mistaken. Well, maybe their series with Seattle's done. I know that Houston, he just said that is still on the ledger. But big point is there's been no Seager, no Simeon, no Adolis, no Eovaldi during this recent run. How the heck have the Rangers stayed in this thing?
It's been a mix. I think everyone's kind of focusing on the young guys, the unsung heroes, which is great, but there's been a mix of some veterans getting it done as well. I guess I'm not going to call Wyatt Langford a veteran just yet, but
No.
on that team right now, maybe he is. He's been crushing the ball as of late. Merrill Kelly's given them really good starts, even last night, getting down 2-0, but then keeping his team in the game long enough to get the offense rolling. That was nice to see. But yeah, then it's been guys like Jake Berger's got the job done. Michael Hellman's got the job done. Other guys have come up certain games, and then I like to point to one guy. You need versatility, or two guys actually. You need versatility, and especially in times when with injuries abounding your entire roster. So Josh Smith is a guy that can move anywhere, play anywhere, and you're going to get quality at bats. He's just a quality big leaguer.
Mhm.
Guys like that help out big time in situations like this. And then another guy in the rotation, or swing guy, I should say, excuse me, Jacob Latz, who's able to give him starts when he needs spot starts, or come out of the pen and do that. That's the type of stuff that makes you weather these storms, because you need guys that are willing to do different things and are able to do different things on the roster. So it's just been a really cool story. Bruce Bochy kind of said what I always say about seasons. Like, to have a good season, you need to have your regulars be themselves. Like your guys be just give you normal production, and then you need some of the young guys to step up, and we've seen that throughout the year here. It's been a little bit different now with the injuries, but that's kind of the mark of a good ball club. They're all referencing the clubhouse and how tight it is and how much fun they're having. And the last thing I'll say is, when you're young and you're one of these guys who's not really established at the big league level, the coolest thing you can do on a baseball field is help your team win. It feels so good, and it gives you so much confidence. So, like, the injuries, they suck, but sometimes there's a silver lining where these guys are getting experience, they're getting the job done, and now all of a sudden, that when the situation arises again, it's not new to them, and they'll have confidence in these situations. So it's just been fun to watch for them.
Well, let's start with you talking about the stars being stars. That's exactly what DeGrom has done. A 1.41 ERA over his last 5 starts, and he gets to pitch at Citi Field in the series opener on Friday. I'm sure we'll talk about that on Friday's show. Little shout out for Jack Leiter, who
Yeah.
has proven to be now a guy in their rotation. Remember, we talked about it earlier this season. We said that there were 3 guys that they could count on in their rotation. This was before the Merrill Kelly trade, right? It was Eovaldi, it was DeGrom, and it was Patrick Corbin, who had kind of shocked the world by rediscovering his old form. And then we said there were 2 young guys. Like, who's going to take that next step between Kumar and Jack Leiter? And Jack Leiter's the one. A sub-3 ERA in August, and his first 2 starts in September haven't been that good, but he didn't blow up in either of them. The other thing is this group of kids that they are calling the Little Rascals, okay? David Murphy, who's a former Ranger and now one of their TV analysts, came up with this. It's Cody Freeman, it's Michael Hellman, it's Alejandro Osuna, and it's Dustin Harris. And it's interesting because Hellman is really the only one that's produced good numbers. He hit the Rangers' first grand slam of the season earlier this week. He's a 29-year-old rookie. His path has been absolutely ridiculous. He started the year with the Twins. Then in February, the Cards plucked him off of waivers. Then the Pirates took him. And then finally in May, the Rangers were like, yo, we need bodies. So you're going to stick around. And he is produced to over a 900 OPS. The rest of these guys, the other 3 of them, nobody has an OPS over 606. So you look at it, you're like, what are they doing? And all you hear out of Bochy and the players is the amount of energy that they bring. And maybe they've had one specific moment where it's been a big moment and they've delivered. And that's the only thing they've done. But when you add it all up and the sum of the parts, then you're in good shape. So good for these guys, the Little Rascals.
Absolutely. I mean, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, you can have if you bring that energy to the field every day, it's very valuable. Okay, do you want to show up on the field and put the numbers up? Yes, but if you can produce in some big moments, a la, who do we just show? Uh, Louis, Leo Rivas.
Yeah.
Same. So
Yeah.
like that's exactly what we're talking about. Show up in the big moments, bring the energy. I mean, I've had plenty of examples of my Twins days where that's what like Nick Punto would tell me. Hey, like you're gonna show up, you're gonna be positive every day. And this is my rookie year. In the dugout, you're gonna be on the top step, you're gonna be cheering, you're gonna be helping the guys do whatever they need to be do. And then when your number gets called, just do your best. That's all you can hope for. The
Yeah.
energy is very, very important.
Yeah. That's good. It's been fun watching them. 14-4, I believe, in their last 18 games. All right. Meantime, a big night for a pair of superstars who play on opposite ends of the Keystone State.
High fly ball to right. Soto's going back toward the Chick-fil-A side. It is gone. Home run, Bryce Harper.
There it is. 200 strikeouts for Paul Skenes.
I think Skenes is the 8th different Pirate to have a 200K season, so good for him. Question I want to ask you. Would you rather have Bryce Harper's past or Paul Skenes' future? So Bryce Harper up until today, everything that he has accomplished in baseball, or you could start with what Paul Skenes will do from this day moving forward.
It's a good question, Chris, and I didn't really understand it. Then we kind of talked off air about what you meant by it. I'm going Harper here. Okay, if Paul Skenes, you could guarantee like a World Series title or something like that, then maybe I think differently. But I'm going Harper. I got $377 million like in the bank. No matter what I do, I got a couple MVPs. I've had huge playoff moments. Has a World Series eluded me? Yes, but I don't know, man. Like the longevity has been there, and if you're guaranteeing this, like it's already happened, like I'm taking that with Harp. Skeens is gonna have a great future. He's gonna have to suffer for a few more years in Pittsburgh. At least we think he's gonna have to suffer. Maybe something happens and the organization turns it around offensively. But you know me, man. Like I'm a hitter. Give me the bombs, you know. I don't know. There's just something about Bryce too. Like he's done it. I'm taking Bryce Harper.
Yeah, I think it's a fun way to look at it, but the unknown can be awfully enticing as well. Look, Paul Skenes, nobody's wishing this on him, but the odds are is when you are a pitcher that something is going to go wrong with you health-wise at some point. But because, well,
Let's
I'm
not
just
put
saying.
that out there. That's just
Well, come on now. We can talk like big boys here. The odds are look at the odds of the number of starting pitchers who unfortunately have suffered some sort of major injury.
okay.
It's going to happen. It might be 10 years from now.
Hey,
It might
Bryce
be
said
3
Tommy
years.
John, so that's a
That, right,
a wash.
exactly. It's a wash. But regardless of that, somebody's probably going to pay that guy $400 million. Don't you think he'll be the first $400 million pitcher?
Sure. And when that comes, I'll say the 377 that I got is worth more than the 400 you got right now because I've been able to invest it.
Okay, fine. I think we're
Where are you
arguing
at? You
over
didn't answer the question.
because I'm trying to lay out the situation for where you would take Skenes because I think it's a harder argument.
Yeah.
But when it's all said and done, it wouldn't shock me if in the history of baseball, we look at Paul Skenes' career as carrying a bigger legacy than that of Bryce Harper. And that's hard for me to say because I have loved Harper pretty much since he first became a Washington National. Is there any way that you would take Skenes in this discussion, Skenes' future? What would make it? Couldn't you see him winning 4 or 5 Cy Youngs?
Yeah, no, there's no, I mean, his future is going to be great. There's no wrong answer here. The unknown of it's fun, right?
Yes, the unknown is what makes the question fun. I mean, but if he goes 4 or 5, Bryce Harper's not going to win 4 or 5 MVPs. He's probably tapped out at 2. There's nothing wrong with that, one of which was a unanimous MVP. But you and I just kind of glossed over the fact that we both believe Paul Skenes could win 4 or 5 Cy Youngs. That's insane.
I just like being a hitter, Chris. That's
It
me.
can't be that simple. It can't be that. You also love being a baseball fan. And I do believe that Paul Skenes' legacy 30 years down the road will be bigger than that of Bryce Harper's. And it's not easy for me to say because I am a huge Harper fan. But I really believe in what we're seeing with Paul Skenes.
I mean, I do too, but I think I don't know.
It's a good question, and we need people to ring in on this one. What do you want? Harper's past and everything that comes with it, baseball-wise and financially and everything else, or Paul Skenes' future from this day forward? What are you taking? Because you're about to win a Cy Young in like 2 months when they announce it.
It's a big risk if you're taking Paul Skenes, people. Let me tell you that right now.
Aren't you a risk taker?
Not when $377 million is the other option. I'm the least risky person in the world then.
Oh, that is good stuff. Good stuff. That was a fun one. I loved writing that one. All right, today's episode, Baseball Today, it is sponsored by BetterHelp. Hey, we've all done it before. You turn to your barista, your hairdresser, heck, even a random stranger somewhere for life advice. As fun as they are to talk with about everyday topics, when you're looking for help about relationships, anxiety, depression, other clinical issues, they might not have all the answers. Instead, you can get guidance with a credentialed therapist online with BetterHelp. So instead of turning to a random stranger, turn to a trained and credentialed therapist. With over 30,000 therapists, BetterHelp is the world's largest online therapy platform, having served over 5 million people globally. You know, with BetterHelp, you can join a session with a therapist at the click of a button, helping you fit therapy into your busy life. Plus, you can switch therapists at any time. As the largest online therapy provider in the world, BetterHelp can provide access to mental health professionals with a diverse variety of expertise. And our listeners, you're going to get 10% off their first month at BetterHelp.com/baseball today. That is BetterHelp, HELP.com/baseball today. All right. Second straight night. Tigers beat up on the Yankees pen. Oh, our good friends in the office at John Boy Media, they are not happy. And in fact, Detroit's all-star outfielder showed it is easy being green.
Oh, that ball's waylaid. High and deep, right center field. No doubt about it. Riley Green goes yard at Yankee Stadium. It is 5-0 Tigers.
Happy belated birthday to my buddy Jason Benetti, who used the word waylaid. Highly underused during a baseball game. Tigers become the first team in the history of Yankee Stadium, whether it's the old or the new rendition of that venue, to win consecutive games by double digits. I'm talking about the road team. It's pretty good. So what does it all mean? Tigers back on top of the American League record-wise. Now, we have both been kind of wishy-washy on Detroit over the last several months. Are we underestimating the Motown Kitties heading into October?
I don't think we're underestimating them whatsoever. I think both of us realize if they go on a run, especially offensively, and can line up some pitching. I mean, they had a great performance out of Flaherty last night. Like they have the pieces to go and do it. But you know, you're talking about the last couple months, what we've been saying about them. I mean, since July 1st, they're 31-30. They've been a barely above 500 baseball team. So they're not invincible. My daughter asked me, who's the best team in baseball right now, Dad? I'm like, I don't know. Yeah. There's not I told her there's not a team out there that's just way better than the others. It's just not that way this year. So there's a bunch of teams that have really, really good aspects to their team, but we've seen all of them struggle at times. We've seen there's been a lot of ups and downs. There has not been a team that has just ran away with it. So I think we've been fair to them. I think we talk to Tigers fans. Are they confident in their team? Yes, but do they understand that there has been flaws? Sure. So I don't think we've been off on them. Again, if they're getting big offensive contributions and they can get starts like that and able to kind of like keep their bullpen in check before they have to fully unleash them in the playoffs, like then yeah, they have a good team. But you can say that about any team. So I think we've been spot on about them. You know, look, a couple of great games in the Bronx. That's awesome. Got to give credit when credit is due. But you know, I don't think we've been bashing them.
No, not bashing. We just kind of have been ignoring them in part because of the division that they're in. Like they won their 50th. They won their 50th game on June 25th, and they basically lapped the field in that division. And it's been an 8, 9, 10-game lead for much of the last 3.5 months. Cleveland got it down to 6 at one point, but it never felt like the Tigers were ever threatened. And so that's been part of the deal. They've been the one playoff team for the most part that hasn't been pushed at all for the better part of 3 months. And so when that happens, they can probably get a little lackadaisical in some areas, not as sharp, and I certainly understand that. I think this series has been great for them. It's probably allowed them to refocus. I would be ecstatic if I were a Tigers fan based on what I saw out of Flaherty last night, because the one thing he hasn't given them consistency is any sort of length for the most part, and that sort of performance would allow them to do that. The one thing that has always concerned me about this team, and I don't think they addressed it enough at the deadline, was lack of swing and miss out of their bullpen. Because as much as they rely on that, you can't have other teams putting the ball in play on a consistent basis. Now they're hoping that Finnegan, who's been fantastic for them with a 0 ERA in over 14 innings work, that he can get healthy and get ready for the postseason, because he does bring a little bit more of that. The rest of the guys, not so much outside of Will Vest. But, like, would it shock me if they end up in the World Series? I want to say that maybe that was my preseason prediction. I don't exactly remember. But, like, when we did the question the other day about when the series started between the Astros and Jays and then the Tigers and the Yankees, we said list, 1 through 4. And we both had the Tigers 3 in terms of being the third team out of that grouping of 4 that would make the World Series. But it's I hated this much between teams 1 and 4.
Exactly. It's a crapshoot right now. And
Yeah.
I don't like that term being thrown around for the playoffs too often, because there are teams they can go and dominate at times. But this year, we do not have a team like that. We just don't.
Mm-mm.
And maybe we were going to. I really liked what the Phillies were doing. They've had to go through some injuries. I think injuries have been a big part of this year. But also, there hasn't been teams to separate. Now, early in the season, the Tigers were unbelievable. 18-9 in April, 19-9 in May. And if you toggle up and down the leaderboard for like team stats during like those first 3 months, it was Tigers top 5 in pitching ERA. It was Tigers top 5 in offensive production. That's come down a little bit, but they have that in them. It's there. It's, can they get it now? All that matters is, can that happen at the right time?
One other good thing for the Tigers is that, they're fighting it out with Toronto at this point for top dog in the American League, but they have a 5-game lead over Houston for at least a bye and a guaranteed, hosting the divisional round, games 1 and 2. That's huge for them because no team in the American League has more wins at home. There's just a different energy for them at Comerica. I know people say, well, of course, Rose, it's a home field advantage. Well, yeah, that place in particular, because I don't know, because they went so long between having playoff games, it felt like that last year it was just fun to see in that series against Cleveland. And if they are able to start a series at home and Scooble's going to be on the mound in a short series, look out. That's a big deal.
It's big. And you mentioned 46-29 at home, 38-33 for them on the road. But there's something about going in there as a hitter and you're like, this is a big park. Oh my gosh.
I'm sure.
Just like, dang.
I'm sure. All right, let's move on to the West Coast. And the reason I am wearing an Athletics cap, Nick Kurtz. He's only 22, but congratulations on turning 30.
Both teams with big playoff aspirations. Kurtz goes inside out to left. On the run, Duran. He's still going, and Kurtz has homered.
It's not supposed to be that easy. It's just not.
You're right, our buddy Dallas Braden. He has made it look easy all year long. He is just the second Athletics rookie ever with a 30-homer season. Mark McGwire clubbed 49 of them back in 1987. So Kurtz, he's more than a slugger. He hits the ball all over the field. I know we've spent some time on him this year, but how impressed are you?
It's been awesome to see. And honestly, it's been everything that they talked about when he first came up. It's a guy that can put together good at bats, prodigious type of power, but he's also, hitting 300. Like, he's kind of doing everything the right way. You can say, hey, maybe cut down on the strikeouts a little bit. Still has a strikeout percentage over 30, which, that probably has to scare you if you're a pitcher facing him. He's going to get has the ability to get better. These stats can get better, but he's been incredible.
Yeah, that 30% is about 8% higher than the league average. So, that's an area where he's going to work on, and God, that could turn him into a 40 with his sort of pop that he's just kind of tapping into at 22 years old. If who knows, somewhere down the line, he might end up vying for a triple crown. You never know. Hitters only draft in baseball. So we're not factoring in defense, base running, nothing like that. Where does Nick Kurtz get taken?
It's hard not to like get super stoked on him, but you have to remember it's been 1 year. I think that's where my mind keeps going. Do I just say he's going to continue to do this for the rest of his career? Because then he's pretty damn high, Chris. He's probably top 5 in the big leagues if we're talking about that. But if you're factor longevity and consistency, I think he probably goes a little bit lower. Not in any fault of his own. He hasn't had the chance to show consistency, but I think you have to take that into consideration. Like, are you taking him over Yordan Alvarez? I don't think so. So I will say I could name some guys. Aaron Judge is going number 1. I think Juan Soto is probably going 2 or 3, depending on where you take Shohei. I think Yordan is right there as well. And then it kind of gets a little interesting. Like, is Vladdy a guy that you would draft over Nick Kurtz? Like, maybe not. So, like, if I'm really thinking about it, and this year alone, he's been the second best hitter in the league. Him and Shohei are like tied for second and third. Again, Aaron Judge has just totally ran away with this competition. Actually, Shohei and Nick Kurtz's stats are eerily similar. 394 on base for Shohei, 397. Actually, I have this toggled from his debut right now. They're very eerily similar since April 23rd. I'll give you a number. I think right now he gets drafted like 8th or 9th.
Top
if you
10
go just off this year, he's a top 5 guy.
So he's going to be as long as he doesn't fall off the face of the earth the last 2.5 weeks of the season, he's going to be the first qualified rookie to have an OPS over a $1 since Yordan in 2019. Now, the difference is pretty much since day one, Yordan's splits have been insanely consistent. It doesn't matter who you're throwing at him, lefty or righty. This is the difference. Kurtz's OPS against right-handed pitching is almost 600 points higher than it is against left-handed pitching. I had to look at it 2 different sites to make sure I didn't get this wrong. I was like, what? That seems almost impossible.
Yeah, that makes it difficult to have you higher than, an Alvarez for sure.
Right. So that's why I did ask this question of his teammate Lawrence Butler, who's the next interview on Dugout Discussions, and he was incredible, by the way. He's just, he is an incredible personality, and a nice day for him yesterday, where he got a game-winning hit off of Aroldis Chapman.
Oh, he's needed that, yeah.
Yeah, he has, particularly against, we're talking about lefty on lefty. That was a big deal for him. So when Kurtz starts to figure that out and at least can be league average-ish in that area against left-handers, then once again, look out, and he's going to be a top 5 pick. But yeah, I can't do that when we could neutralize you in a playoff by just bringing in a lefty.
Are the top 4 hitters in baseball, and I don't even think this is debatable. I think it's Judge, I think it's Ohtani, I think it's Soto, and I think it's Yordan. Am I missing somebody?
I don't think so.
Those are the top 4 hitters in all of baseball. Then after that, you could start talking about a Nick Kurtz, which is crazy.
Right. Like, does Freddie Freeman has not had a typical Freddie Freeman year, but
I don't think he cracks those guys. I don't think Mookie, even though Mookie's coming back looking great, you can just talk about a regular season for Mookie. I still don't think he cracks those top 4 guys.
No. I would agree with all that.
And Vladdy and Cal and what they're, there's a lot of people who are great players, but those 4.
So once again, give us your ideas down there in the comments section. You got a lot of work. You got the Skenes Harper question. You've got this question about, how you draft. Once again, it's just talking about hitting. There's nothing else that factors. It's just hitting ball. That's it. Before we move on, quick shout out to our friends over at Nike. We have an awesome new partnership with them, so go check out our affiliate link in the description below to shop amazing Nike gear. Don't know if you've done that yet. I sat down with Michelle the other day, got myself a nice, like, matching-ish sweatsuit so I could be hip and fly. I might wear that out at the warehouse in the near future.
I thought you might wear it on the plane flying out there. It's a great time to wear a matching sweatsuit.
That is true. That is true. You look like you're baller then.
You do.
Just got Brady a nice pair of kicks for his birthday coming up. So,
Dude, wear your matching sweatsuit, put your headphones on, and just act like you're getting onto the team plane.
Sunglasses or no?
Yeah, heck yeah.
No, come on. You're not one of those,
People
are
would be
you?
like, who is this guy?
Come on, that's enough. All right, National League West. Padres lose, Dodgers win. The lead is 3 for the champs. And did you see who remained red hot?
3-0, green light, fly ball, left field and deep. It is grand slam, Mookie Betts.
It's exciting. It's really exciting to know where I was and then where I am now. A lot of growth in between, and I'm just happy to help the team. I mean, that's genuinely all I care about.
I mean, even with this incredible run he's had over the last month, he's going to end up with the worst numbers by far of his career. But it's nice to see the smile back on Mookie's face, isn't it?
Yeah, it's been awesome to see. The Dodgers desperately need it as well, so it's been good for them.
Yeah, when you look at it, last 30 days, hitting well over 300, 6 homers, over 20 ribs, more than 15 runs scored in 26 games. That includes over a 930 OPS. He's been playing well. Give me one other player, because it seems like he has obviously turned the corner and is getting his skills sharpened for October. Give me one other player on a playoff team where you're like, let's go, pick it up.
I'm going with our guy, and the Cubs obviously need this as well. I'm going with Ian Happ. He also, for a time had been struggling. Have it right here. On August 28th, he ends that game 227, 328, 380 for the 709 OPS. Ian Happ's just a better player than that. Since that day, we've had 12 games, 340, 436, 681 for the 1.1. He's got his numbers up, 746 OPS now. 4 homers, 9 runs driven in. He's starting to feel kind of like more like his old self right there, which, if you're a playoff team, which, the Cubs are, you don't really care what happens like in July or even the beginning parts of August. Like, what are you doing down the stretch run, and are you going to be hot during the playoffs? And Ian Happ seems to be getting hot at the right time.
Manny Machado is a guy that needs to pick it up. If I'm a Padres fan, let's go. At the beginning of August, he had an 871 OPS. It is down to 790. 3 homers in his last 150-plus at-bats. I know that in the playoffs, he's kind of been hit and miss, sub 700 OPS in his career. But there's a different energy when Manny's going right, and kind of, he just feels like the unquestioned leader of that team. And when he's going well offensively, this is a team that we've talked about. They don't have a ton of pop. And he's one of those bats that can change it with one swing. So he's got to get it going. I don't think they're going to catch the Dodgers, but they can be a very dangerous wild card team. So there you go.
I missed that question. I thought you said who got hot. You said who needs to get hot.
Yeah, who needs to get hot? It's okay.
Well, I was giving my guy Ian Happ props. He's
getting
hot.
Yes, you were. That's fine. You like Ian Happ and you like his coffee. So that's all well and good. Friday, we got a lot of good series to break down. You've got Yankees at Fenway. You've got the Rangers and DeGrom's return to Citi Field. That'll be fun. You've got the Dodgers and the Giants, Royals and Phillies. That's important, certainly for one team, if not both. So got a lot of interesting stuff that we'll get to preview on Friday's show, and we cannot wait. For our one-of-a-kind producer, Dan Rourke, our awesome intern, Sawyer, that is the uber-talented Trevor Plouffe. I am Chris Rose. Thanks so much for hanging out with us here on Baseball Today, presented to you by Mountain Dew.